friends of the media. I'm Brian Burrell, and I'm your MC for today's press conference. On November 24th, we'll all witness a sensational event, the biggest boxing match ever in China, held right here at the Venetian in Macau. Both Mr. Tracy and Mr. Aaron are very excited to bring another highly anticipated boxing match. Pacquiao versus Rios, the clash in Cotai, where the fighter of the decade, Congressman Manny Pacquiao, and former world champion and reigning hellion, Brandon Bam Bam Rios, will battle each other in a 12-round welterweight rumble. Without further ado, I'd like to now introduce the sponsor of this thrilling event here in Macau, Sands China Limited President and CEO, Mr. Edward Tracy.
Yeah.
Ni hao. Bienvenidos, welcome. On behalf of our chairman, Sheldon Gary Adelson, and the 25,500 team members who make these beautiful buildings come alive, we welcome you to the Venetian, the home of big-time boxing in Asia. It's obviously a pleasure to have you all here today, and I want to thank our friends in the press for turning out for this. It's exactly this kind of event that our company has targeted to bring notoriety to Macau as a destination that's about a lot more than just what people may think it is. And world-class entertainment has a tremendous effect on that visibility. It's also tremendous for our brand, and it's also good for us commercially. And those are the three key things that we focus on when we talk about global events. The only way to get there for Macau, in my view, is for companies like ours to partner with the best in the business, the best of the category. Folks like HBO, folks like Top Rank, Takata. Bringing these kinds of partners to this jurisdiction that 5 years ago nobody would have guessed would ever an event like this. And to be partnering with the people you see at this table is a great honor for us. So without further ado, I'd like to turn this over to some folks who have a lot of important things to say about this event. Brian?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tracy. And next I'd like to introduce to you the Hall of Fame promoter, Top Rank founder and CEO, Mr. Bob Arum, to present to you the main event fight.
Good afternoon. It's truly a pleasure to be here. To be able to stage this historic event here in China, in Macau, is really something special, because November 24th will mark a historic occasion. The eyes of the entire sporting world, all over the world, will be focused here on Macau, at the Venetian, and at the Cotai Arena. And we expect that this event will reach more people than any event held in China, other of course than the Olympics. It is something very, very exciting for all of us. It emphasizes, while we are all beginning to know that the world is a very small place, that athletes from Asia can compete with athletes from the West, from the United States, that people come from all over to compete against each other. For example, tonight's boxing show, in the three main fights, 6 fighters, they come from 5 different countries. Now that's something that's really special. And the card that we will be putting on November 24th will be outstanding. And how could it not be, with Manny Pacquiao going up against Brandon Rios? For those who follow boxing, they all know that this is a very, very intriguing, exciting fight. And I want to particularly thank all the people at Sands China, my good friend Ed Tracy, who's made this all happen, to the chairman, my good friend Sheldon Adelson, who's a neighbor of mine in Las Vegas and has supported this venture, because as Ed says, and this is very, very important, when people talk about Macau now, they talk about the great gaming revenue. But Macau, at least as far as the Venetian and Sands China is concerned, is not about the gaming revenue. It's about bringing all sorts of events, all sorts of entertainment here to Macau to attract tourists from all over the world, and certainly this event will do that. We know there'll be thousands of people coming from all over, particularly from the Philippines, which is just about an hour and a half away by plane. And they will be offering packages to people in the Philippines, which will be announced after this press conference. The event on November 24th will be supervised by our good friends in the World Boxing Organization. Please welcome the Asian representative of the World Boxing Organization to say a few words. Please welcome Leon Pancillo.
Thank you, Bob. First of all, I want to say congratulations to Top Rank and his staff on providing a huge event like this on November 24th. And I believe it's going to be a spectacular event where two of the best fighters in the world are colliding. And we're going to be here supervising the fight for the vacant WBO International Welterweight title. And there's going to be a special belt being made for this specific fight. And I hope that everyone will enjoy the event. And I'm sure that it's going to be a packed event during that show. And I believe that the World Boxing Organization will be at most respected for everyone to recognize. Thank you very much, Bob.
In order for this event to have the biggest impact in the United States, and Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico, with the help of Sands China, we have organized a package for representatives of the media to come over here to Macau. We expect well over 100 media representatives from the United States, Canada, Puerto Rico, and Mexico to come here for this event. And we will be announcing those packages in New York and in Los Angeles next week when we make those stops on this media tour. I also want to thank Tecate, which has been a top-ranked sponsor for many years. Tecate is a fabulous beer. It's not sold here. You have great Chinese beers, but it's pretty far away to ship Chinese beer to the United States and Mexico. And their Tecate is becoming one of the premier brands, and their support has been tremendous for us. In the United States, in Canada, in Puerto Rico, this fight will be seen on pay-per-view television. So understand this, the fight will be live here at about 10 in the morning, which is about 9 on 10 in the morning on Sunday, which is 9 on Saturday night in New York, which is the usual time to start a pay-per-view show. So we expect a significant amount of revenue from this event to come from the pay-per-view in the United States, Canada, and Puerto Rico, because Manny Pacquiao has been one of the biggest draws for pay-per-view in the last 5 or 6 years. And the media coming over here to talk about this event will ensure that that will happen. Another reason why we're confident that we will do well on pay-per-view in the United States is because our distribution partner is HBO. HBO is the finest organization for distributing pay-per-view in the world. Their track record can't be exceeded by anyone, and it's great for us to have HBO on board. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce to you the president of HBO Sports. Please welcome Ken Hirschman.
Thank you, Bob. Let me start by saying thank you to our wonderful hosts here at the Venetian. It's quite a majestic property, my first time here, and I was in awe. Thank you, Ed. As excited as everybody is for tonight's boxing action, I believe the energy and enthusiasm will be even more powerful in the historic Manny Pacquiao Brandon Rios event that will take place coming in November. This is certainly a world-class facility that knows how to host a world-class fight with major implications for both fighters. I was struck as I spent a little time in Hong Kong and here in Macau that this seems to be the crossroads of so many different people and ethnicities and wonderful people, wonderful food, and just a cross-section of really tremendous variation. And this fight is in many respects that same kind of crossroads. It's got, one of the premier fighters ever to put on boxing gloves in Manny Pacquiao, and one of my favorite fighters, one of the most exciting young fighters to come along in a long time, in Brandon Rios. I'm here representing HBO. For those new to American television, we've been the leader in televised boxing for 40 plus years. We've been involved in virtually every major boxing event in history. Manny and Brandon have been staples of our network for some time, and we're excited to have them back in November. As Bob mentioned, the pay-per-view will be November 23rd. We want to make that clear for the U.S. audience. It's just a regular 9 p.m. start time Saturday night, November 23rd. HBO will also be televising a number of supporting programming efforts to help drive awareness and interest in this fight, including our Emmy Award-winning series 24/7. And I, for one, look forward to Brandon's premiere in that series. Manny's an old dad. As far as the international television plans, I'll leave that to everyone else. But we will give you more scheduling details on 24/7 and the other programming efforts around the show as they become available. Once again, just want to thank you for having us. We're excited to be part of an historic event such as this, and we're excited to be in Macau, and I look forward to seeing you all back in November. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Ken. Now, they say here now that I'm supposed to say that also on the card will be the great Chinese fighter, Zhao Shiming. And we are sure planning for him to be on the card, but of course there's one little obstacle. He's fighting tonight, and he's got to win the fight tonight. So let's hope that he comes through tonight, and if he does, he will appear on the card on on November 24th. I also want to recognize now a gentleman who honors us by his presence. He is from the Philippines. He is the Philippine Consulate General to Macau. I'd like him, if he could, come up and say a few words. Danilo Daya. Danilo. Attending the government business. See, if I knew he couldn't come, we could have had Manny, the Congressman Manny Pacquiao, provide us with the Vice Governor of Serengeti Province, the Honorable Jinky Pacquiao. Also, you know, part of our mission here, part of the mission of SANS China, is to develop boxing in this part of the world. We know that there are a number of Chinese fighters emerging now, other than just Zhao Shiming. We have 3, I believe, Filipino fighters fighting in fights tonight. But we also have a young man who lives in Macau and has a professional record of 1 win and no defeats. He's a 154-pounder, and we're making arrangements for him to be on this big boxing card in a preliminary bout on November 24th. He's in the audience. I'd like him to stand. Please welcome K.K. Nunn. Okay, we're really honored here, before we start with the trainers and the camps and the fighters, to introduce to you a man who typifies the best that boxing has offered. He was a 2-time world heavyweight champion, winning his 2nd title at the ripe old age of 45 by knockout victory. He's legendary in the sport of boxing. He loves the sport. His sons continue the tradition. They're part of the promotional team, which includes MP Promotions, Foreman Boyd Promotions, part of this team promoting this big event. So please welcome the Hall of Famer, the 2-time heavyweight champion of the world, Big George Foreman.
I want to thank Bob for the good introduction. As you know, we're looking forward to big things. That's why I'm so big, so I can travel to big places and see big fights. Manny Pacquiao, in his weight division, there's no one better at punching. Brandon Rios, in his division, there's no one better at taking a punch. This will be one of the best fights we've ever seen, and I'm so happy because it'll happen in one of the biggest casinos the world has ever seen. And because of it, the world will see it. I'm so happy to be a part of this. Thank you, my boys, George.
That's the truth. Half the audience sitting out there are Georges. My good friend, and I know he's a little late, and we've had a couple of remarks from Leon for the WBO, but he's here now, and I'd like him to say a few words. The president of the World Boxing Organization, Francisco Paco.
Thank you, HBO. Okay. Bob, Marco Polo did it before. You're doing it now. Congratulations. Just I want to say that it's an honor for WBO to sanction this fight. Leon is doing the hell of the job with Santao and the commission. Congratulations to all. And we're going to see a fight that everyone wants to see. Manny Pacquiao, Mr. Congressman, everybody wants to see you. We got to watch you on TV. And you are a ticket seller. That's good for WBO, for the promoter, and for the hotel. And then, Mr. Rios, no surrender, no retreat. Congratulations. You are doing, you are doing the hell of a job. And I know you got the heart to be at 12 round with Manny Pacquiao. Good luck to everybody, and thank you to everybody.
Now it's time to hear from the camps. First, I'd like to introduce a good friend of mine, the trainer of Brandon Rios. It seems now that he trains half the fighters that go on our shows. His brother, Mikey, is a great champion. He helps train Gradovich, who's fighting tonight. The list goes on and on. I know he's very, very proud of the work that he's done with Brandon Rios. He's a former champion himself. Top Rank had the honor of promoting him when he won the championship as a junior lightweight, 130-pounder. So please welcome one of the best trainers in the world, Robert Garcia.
Good afternoon to everybody. Just want to thank everybody here, the whole world for supporting this fight. HBO, Top Rank, City of Macau, the Venetian for giving us a great welcome. And most importantly, I want to thank Manny Pacquiao for taking this challenge. It takes a lot of heart and a great champion to be able to take a challenge like he did against Brandon Rios. Come November, we're going to be here prepared for our fight. Everybody in the world knows Manny Pacquiao. Everybody knows he's been one of the best of all times. But we're here to prove that Brandon is the next superstar. We will be ready for whatever Pacquiao brings, and we will be ready to come up with a win. Thank you very much.
Manny Pacquiao is accompanied here today by two people who are sitting up on the stage. One of them stays away from the ring, but handles all the stuff outside the ring. He's an advisor to Manny Pacquiao. I know he'd like to say a few words. Please welcome Michael Barnes.
I'm going to make it short because I know you guys want to hear from Brandon and Manny. We're just delighted to be able to be part of what we believe is going to be a very historical event in holding this fight here in Macau. And, you know, we're afforded that luxury also because of Manny's status. So we wanted to bring the fight here, to build the boxing in here, but also to give fans that otherwise wouldn't have had the chance to come to a fight in Vegas or in America because of the expense to come here to Macau. And I'm certain it's going to be a tremendous event. The fans are going to win, the casino's going to win, and everybody's going to be happy.
Now it's a great honor to present the Hall of Fame trainer. Manny Pacquiao's trainer, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.'s trainer, trainer of Miguel Cotto now, Vanis Montrosian, all top fighters. He'll be spending a lot of time in Asia because Manny will be training in General Santos in the Philippines. So Freddie will be close by for a couple of months, and he's looking forward to it. And if all's well, I believe Zhao Shiming will be training in General Santos, because he too is trained by Freddie Roach. So please welcome a terrific man. He was a great fighter, a real scrappy fighter when he fought professionally, now a legendary trainer. Please welcome Freddie Roach.
Thanks, Bob. Looking forward to getting back to work with Manny. I have a lot of great fighters in my stable, but Manny's always the number one, and we'll be back on top soon. Thank you.
Now, this event says a lot about boxing. We have in one corner, from the United States of America, a young man who was born in Kansas, which, for those of you who don't know, is in the middle of the country, the Great Plains area, that generally votes Republican, unlike the rest of the country. And he is fighting the pride of the Philippines, a young man from Mindanao, from General Santos in the Philippines, who is now a congressman. Now think of that. Here is the sport of boxing, brings together an American who originally came from the heart of the country, now lives in Oxnard, California, against a congressman who grew up in relative poverty in the province of Mindanao in General Santos. And now they're fighting here in China, in Macau. I mean, who would have believed this 30 or 40 years ago? And that the promoter of the fight, my company, comes from Brooklyn, New York. You know, and Ed Tracy, my friend, I first met in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So this is really becoming a small world. But what an event we're going to have here on November 24th. Brandon Rios is one of the most exciting young fighters around. One thing about Brandon, there ain't no quitting. He's not afraid of anybody. You make a fight, he'll take on anybody. He has the greatest confidence in himself. And even though he's a jokester and you get a good laugh with him, you know that he gives it 150% when he trains for a fight. So it's a great honor for us at Top Rank to have had Brandon Rios among our fighters and to have helped advance the career of Brandon Rios. Please welcome a young man who boxing is really all about, Brandon Bam Bam Rios.